Time for my short rant on Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F Fakatsu no F, whatever you want to call it. The Frieza movie. You want to see my longer version with the webcam musical intro and outro. The link will be in the description box below, but this is just a short version. There's not really much to talk about. This right here is the worst comic book movie of all time. If there's a comic book movie that makes the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 and one of my favorite comic books honorable mentions, Venom, look good, look great, and look like Oscar-worthy material in comparison, is this movie right here. There was really nothing good about this movie. Only one thing stops this from being the worst movie ever, and that is the comedy, the humor. The animation has improved from the last animated Dragon Ball Z feature, as was the action, but that's not enough. That's not enough to save it, especially since the storyline and characters were so bad I couldn't get into the quote-unquote action. And what inspired me to redo this rant right here were the fanboys. When it comes to Dragon Ball Z, the Buu Saga and Super especially, they get the bashing and criticism they deserve. For some odd reason, this one is exempt. No one really criticizes this movie much. Not only do they not criticize this movie, they come up with stupid fan theories surrounding this movie, such as what if Frieza trained? Which I'm about to rip that apart right when I get into this video. What if Frieza trained? And even worse, defending one of the worst things I hated about this movie was not only Frieza being back alive again, but him being stronger than Gohan, Piccolo, and all the Z fighters except for Goku and Vegeta. They defend Gohan losing to Frieza like he was. There is no defense for this movie. There is no excuse for this movie. This movie was the worst movie of all time. And once again, if I'm a moron and a sheep, and every other name you call people who don't like your Dragon Ball Z garbage, you are an easily entertained kid, moron, dumbass, sheep, and hypocrite. You knew how terrible this was, but because it's Dragon Ball Z, you like it. Sorry, I'm not a easily entertained moron like you. I'm not a kid. Putting random Super Saiyan crap in action, violence, does not impress me. Sorry, I want storytelling, complexity, lore, and realism, and more importantly, consistency from what I was reading and watching. So, yeah, but and this is the worst Dragon Ball Z saga of all time. At least Majin Buu had Vegito, the Fusion Rebirth movie, Gogeta, which I consider an alternate world Majin Buu saga. Gotenks, Mystic Gohan, the filler Otherworld Tournament saga preceding it, which was surprisingly, in my opinion, that's one of the best Dragon Ball Z sagas, with Pikkon and the Warriors of the Dead, and some awesome badass action sequences. Despite Majin Buu being the worst saga, this along with Super, the worst saga, surprisingly have the best fights. That's the best fights. However, none of that's enough to save it, but at least it had that, and Super had Jiren hit Cabal, and the Broly movie, probably the best canon Dragon Ball Z saga. The Super Broly movie had Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, and also had some badass action sequences and stuff. So at least both of those had that. This had nothing. The action sequences I couldn't get into because they weren't believable, and the storyline was just so damn bad. And it was after this I gave up on Dragon Ball Z up until Super Broly. I like Super Broly, but one canon saga does not make up for 15 plus sagas of BS, with Resurrection F followed by the Buu Saga and Super being the worst. And one thing about these, they were your climaxes. So if anyone wants to come out there and say, oh, you give up the series because of one bad saga, yes, because that one bad saga was your climax. If another saga were to come and sort of undo that. If it happened early in the series or another saga will come and undo this saga, it would be good again. It would be good again. And if he wants to try to bring up the bad sagas of Naruto, Bleach, except Naruto, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, etc., they were a different type of bad. They were not bad like Dragon Ball Z. They were bad from personal preferences or in Naruto's case, a bunch of characters not being involved. In Bleach's case, they were filler. Or an ending I didn't agree with. And in Yu Yu Hakusho's case, their final sagas, the Three Kings saga and the Demon World Tournament, were just boring. But there was nothing wrong from a story and character development. This saga's ruined, derailed, changed, and altered the characters. There were multiple moments where characters weren't in characters, or characters repeated several things they did in the previous sagas. But the biggest sin right here was not only bringing Frieza back when Trunks cut him up, reduced him to smithereens, dust, and these people had the audacity to put the remnants of Frieza, resurrected him and brought him back to life. Trunks killed what was left of his planet Trade. There is no remnants of his planet Trade. Trunks did everything in the Trunks saga to prevent this movie from happening. So to completely override that just grinds my gears. Just to bring back up Frieza. And the only reason he's back because of fan service. For some odd reason, despite how much Frieza sucks, he's popular. So we bring him back, and we're supposed to take him number 2. We're supposed to take him seriously. We're supposed to, in this new post-Cell, post-Majin Buu era of Dragon Ball Z, we're supposed to take Frieza seriously as a threat to the Z Fighters when he couldn't even touch or beat Super Saiyan 1. In the movie, Frieza hates and wants revenge on Goku. There's even no mention of Future Trunks in that movie. Doesn't even mention Future Trunks, who finished him off and basically marooned you in hell. All Goku did was kick your butt. Next was Gohan. Gohan and Piccolo struggling to kill Frieza soldiers. Post-Cell, post-Majin Buu Gohan. Piccolo who went the distance with Android 17, who in this universe is stronger than Frieza. Who went the distance in what a lot of people consider the best fight, one of the best fights in the series. Then you add Piccolo. Then you add Piccolo go toe to toe with second form Frieza. Then you had Piccolo dominate Imperfect Cell, causing him to run away and come back later when Piccolo was worn out from fighting Android 17 to take care of him. Then the Piccolo between that, in that time between the Cell games, he trained again. So you're trying to tell me Frieza? Then you got Gohan, who with his Super Saiyan 2 power toyed with Cell, forcing his Cell to blow himself up. Then, even with one arm and Goku's assistance and encouragement, and Vegeta's assistance, still managed to bring down Cell, super perfect Cell. Then later in Dragon Ball Z, went the distance with Dabura despite ring rust, and of course toyed with Super Buu, forcing him to absorb Gotenks and Piccolo. So you're trying to tell me Frieza off screen, listen to this, off screen training with a weak soldier can tap into a power source that is stronger than Super Saiyan, Ascended Super Saiyan, Ultra Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan, full power Super Saiyan 2, 3, Mystic, the Kai ability, the greatest power in Dragon Ball Z. He can obtain a power source higher than that and come up with a goal form of his own and survive against the Super Saiyan Blue. Get the hell out of here. If he wants to try to defend that by saying Gohan didn't train. First off, he's Great Saiyan Man. That's training right there, so there should be no ring rust. Number two, every time they brought up this non-training BS, it was proven not to be true. They brought this up multiple times in Dragon Ball. The first time was in the Raditz saga. When Goku threw the stones in the water, Roshi said, I thought Goku would have less power. Now that he settled down, Goku was still as bad as ever, which didn't mean a damn thing because Raditz was more powerful. Next saga, Namek saga, Krillin. When Guru said Krillin had hidden powers, Krillin said some BS about him hitting his limits. Guru raised his power grace his power, and yet Krillin and Gohan were able to hold off Ginyu and Goku's body briefly, who was at 23,000. That means Krillin and Gohan there were stronger than Vegeta, Goku, and Nappa when they were on Earth. In the Namek Saga right there. Then, Namek Saga, right there. This is never shown to be the case. They've never shown anyone losing power over periods of time of inactivity and no training. Whatever Gohan's power was at the end of the Majin Buu saga should still be here now, which means no one. And speaking of the Frieza soldiers, everyone on that screen should have been dead. It should have been one punch, one kick, one blast, man. Everyone should have been dead. No one should have been alive. No one should have been alive, or at least standing. Every soldier should have been dead. As many Gohan and Piccolo got there. So as much as I love that Avengers moment that they tried to do, you didn't need it here. Gohan and Piccolo should have just been enough. Speaking of the Avengers moment, Roshi was somehow more useful, who hasn't been useful since the King Piccolo saga, who's been retired since Piccolo Jr. I don't care what you guys says. See, they try to say he was secretly training. So regular Earth and island training is better than the quote-unquote God, is better than the God training of King Kai, Supreme Kai, and Kami, and of course the hyperbolic time chamber. Get the hell out of here. Notice how all of this is off screen, so they can't even. So if I were to sit down with any of these, with Toriyama or any of these writers, they wouldn't be able to tell me how it was, because they took the easy and coward's way out and said it was off screen. It was all off screen. So it's plot hole. Then Goku getting injured by a weak Frieza soldier. First off, him not seeing the blast. That's number one. Him not seeing or sensing the blast. He couldn't sense the Frieza soldier behind him. It was well established you cannot sneak up on Goku and them. Not at that level. You got to be someone powerful like Buu, Shinron, Omega Shinron, and people like Baby. But people like Frieza soldiers cannot. They're just minor distractions at that point. Goku couldn't see it. Then it supposedly hurt him, despite him in the Frieza saga blocking multiple lasers, including one with his quote-unquote chest, and managed to block all the lasers from his friends in the Frieza saga in his base form. Get out of here, man. It is a plot hole. Then people, after seeing that, are shocked he lost. He got his butt kicked by Superman in Death Battle. Naruto, Captain America, Tony Stark have all gotten hit by lasers who are 1,000 times weaker than Goku is. So, then the biggest, most unforgivable thing, when it was towards the end, what they did at the end, right when Vegeta was about to kill Frieza, Frieza quickly managed to summon a blast and destroy the Earth that fast. He was able to blow up the Earth that fast with no one seeing him or being able to stop him. He was able to blow up the Earth and kill everyone. And Wiz unleashes an ability he's never unveiled before. He rewinds time like some cartoon character, and Goku uses the Kamehameha wave and kills Frieza, and sending him back to hell. Waste of time. Waste of everyone's time. The worst comic book movie of all time. Don't care about the critical reception. Don't care about the money this movie received, which ain't a lot. You would think this movie just made a couple of thousands. You think this movie, with all the annoying Dragon Ball Z fans in the world, would make Avengers style of money? But no. It was bad enough this movie was this movie was in Japan, but you had to bring this crap to our theaters here in America. This movie was absolutely trash, man. Absolutely trash. So Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F, the worst movie ever. The only thing good was Emperor Pilaf my shoe, wishing for 100 zenny, stealing the wish and taking it and running off. Well, I'm finished for now. The longer version is in the links below.